I'm Mary Jean Murphy, and I'm coming to you from my favorite quilt store, and we are on installment 3 for Brimming Over by Kim Diehl. It uses the Quiet Grace fabric line, and let's get right to it. I hope you're enjoying this. I am loving this quilt, and as you can see, this is installment 3, completely done. I hope you had a great time doing installment 2. If you're following along, yippee! We are in the middle part of our sew along right now. I can't believe it's already in the middle. If you're not, come on and catch up. Get in with us, or go ahead and print off some of these emails and go and put it with your pattern. You're going to be happy you did. So let's get right to it. Like I said, this is installment 3. This is done, and it doesn't look like it's a lot of work, but I'm going to tell you there's a lot of pieces. I did a video that shows a little trick that you use a glue pen with. So if you haven't looked at that, why don't you go ahead and look at that video, because it's going to help you with some of these piecing, and I think you'll be a little more successful with it. I had to do a cheat sheet for not only the cutting, but also for my video, because there's a lot of components that go into these quilts, so bear with me. The first thing I want to tell you is always cut your fabrics and organize them, and have your fabrics all organized. There is a lot of fabrics in this and a lot of little pieces. Don't throw away any of your discard, because sometimes you have to use them in another installment. So just put them aside until we get all 6 installments done, and I think you'll find that some of them you'll reuse, the pieces that you cut away. So go ahead and keep them. But get that fabric organized and get that fabric cut. And I do cut it all at once and just kind of lay it out across my table in number order, and it makes it a little easier for me. I also keep the color card that comes just kind of pinned up on my design wall, just in case I need to, just need to look at it. Number 2, this Radiant Star Block was a lot of fun. Use the sew pen, the glue pen technique on this block right here, and also on these flying geese blocks. That little technique really made my quilt, my piecing much more accurate. I was really happy with this when it came out. It's really just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fabrics. And don't worry about the placement of the neutrals. It's not going to matter in the long run. Just mix them up and have fun with them. But this was a very fun block. You are going to do a little applique into the block, so just remember that when you're pressing and piecing. I don't know what kind of applique you are using, but I'm using the traditional. I use back basting applique, so I just tuck that stem right up into that seam and press the seam with the stem so it laid nice and flat. That was the Radiant Star. The Pinwheel units are these right here. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. They are pieced just like a pinwheel unit. I do like to caution you to watch the way your pinwheels are whirling. They all have to whirl the same way so that you get sort of this alternating effect and a whirling effect. They measure 3.5 inches when finished. When I first cut them out, I thought they were going to be wrong, but they weren't. They were fine. So do that exactly the way the directions said. Just mix up this checkerboard block. I included cutting instructions for the checkerboard block, but don't worry about what it looks like on the pattern. It's really just something that you can just mix up and have fun with. I used a lot of the different ones that I had left over, or just little pieces, but you do need a certain amount, and I did include that in your cutting sheet. This basket block is the next one we're going to do. Has a little tiny bit of applique in it, and just like this seam right here, when you tuck your stem, just watch the way you are pressing so that it presses flat. You can use fusible applique, you can use needle turn, you can use back basting, anything that is comfortable, but I do caution you to use that same technique throughout the entire quilt so that it looks nice at the end like it was planned. I will caution you to be careful with your blocks. I pressed every one of these rows to the darker square, and then I nested my seams so that I had really nice intersections, and that was very important to me. I did this block, this part of the block first, and then added the bottom, the stand, let's call it, and then I put this on. Of course, you have a little pieced star. I did the handle like I have done all the other handles, and I put the applique on, and it was a fun little block. It fit really, really nicely together. I like the way she pieced this with putting the larger blocks and then folding them back. And you can go ahead and use a little bit of glue on that because you do have a pretty big seam allowance to hold it, you know, to put the glue on and then cut the glue off. This block right here, it was just nothing more than do your own thing. They're all half square triangles. I went ahead and cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares of a color and 7 squares of a neutral. I made half square triangles times 2, and then I saved the half square triangle. Maybe I'll use it another time. I found that a lot easier, and that's how I did it in your cutting instructions. So if you have a little bit left over, just put it to the side. You might need it for another part of an installment, or it's a fun little thing to put maybe around your label. It's a cute little row. And then of course the flying geese. I think everybody must be a pro right now at flying geese because she is using it quite a bit. Flying geese in these little star blocks and flying geese all over. It's kind of her way of doing a lot of fillers. Flying geese, half square triangles, whirly birds, which is just the star block, and checkerboards. I really enjoyed doing this one. I can see the quilt now coming together. I like the way she's having you do it in sections, and I hope you are liking it too. So this is Mary Jean. This is installment 3. I'll be back next month with installment 4. Get sewing because it's a lot of fun. Until next time, see you later.